22nd, 2020. The time is 10 a.m. We are meeting for our Commissioners' Weekly Status Update, attending Commissioners Duncan, Brooks, and Filios. Do we have any changes to the agenda? None? Okay, so moving on for some of our action items. Underground fuel storage tank at the jail. Leslie or Sean?
Yeah, Sean will handle this.
That would be me. So, the underground storage tank project is becoming the gift that just keeps on giving, it seems, lately. The last time we talked, we were going to draft the environmental covenant and forward that to the DEQ. Well, in the meantime, with that happening, the DEQ sent Petroleum Storage Tank Fund engineer J.R. Siglowski a response, a little delayed. And in this case, now they are telling us that if we need an environmental covenant, that they will draft the covenant and then send it to us for review, which is a complete turnaround from what we were told in the past. He goes, and I sent you guys this letter, so that was the first thing that he said, and this is a good thing once I talked to the engineer and I understood, because if you read the letter at face value, it doesn't sound very good, but it's a good thing. The indoor air sampling has passed evaluation for unrestricted use, so that's a good thing. That was one of the things we were worried about. Collecting soil vapor at 8 to 10 feet below ground will likely be far less costly in the long term, particularly if the results favor unrestricted use. The current soil data at the maximum depth of 8 feet barely fails risk for the basement. The only data gap that requires elevation is soil vapor. So now what he's telling us is, instead of digging it up, we're going to drill down, and if that soil comes back within the limits, this is closed. So he actually is giving us an option that he feels may work. And the worst thing that can happen is if we drill down and it's still not right, then we'll just tell them to draft an environmental covenant. So I've told PSTF to go ahead and draft a working plan and then send it to the DEQ. And if the DEQ says, yeah, that's fine, because they have to approve where you're going to drill and how deep you're going to go and the sample containers, there's a lot that goes into this, then I will come back and ask you at that time as an action item, are you ready to move forward and start drilling the ground? So I have told them to submit a plan to the DEQ, but I have not told them to start work. Okay.
Do we know how much that's gonna cost?
As far as I know, this will be covered by our insurance. We haven't paid for any of the testing or any of that, so, and we still have plenty of money in the kitty here, if you will, for lack of a better term. So that's kind of where we're at. Hopefully, this is gonna come back clean and the DEQ is gonna sign off, and that would be the best thing for us, is for the soil to be clean, no environmental covenant, no deeds, no nothing, and we're just done with it.
Is there a deductible? There must be, right?
We already paid that. We paid the $10,000 deductible when it first started. So it's still an open claim in PSTF's eyes.
Okay. Anything else on that? Okay.
That's it.
So much for fuel storage. Okay. Pending, shouldn't say that. It's been going on for months. Pending item status review per the attached list. Okay. First item in the attached list, which I guess actions, or potentially actions, all three of us, the Romer Building.
Yeah, so we're just on schedule to open bids on the 29th,
Which is a week from today.
a week from today.
And I talked to Cannon Hill yesterday, and he is on standby. So if it comes in that, in fact, I probably would like to bring it up as an action item at next Monday's status update. If we don't get the bids and it doesn't work out, we need to order the asbestos test, which they can do, and it would be a good thing to have it down before the snow flies.
Okay. So for everyone's benefit that might be listening in, Cannon Hill would be the firm that we contract with to
Yes.
demolish the building if in fact we don't get a satisfactory bid.
Yes, that is correct. The bid still stands.
Okay. Okay, so that's 829, and the minimum bid, I think we established at 500,000, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Okay. With whatever other conditions are attached. Okay, Citizen Advisory Committee, Bill.
We're getting close to having some bylaws and other information ready for the review of the Board of Commissioners.
Okay, couple of weeks, what do you think?
Yeah,
Okay.
mid-March, you know. No,
Mid-March,
no. Probably October.
mid-October,
Probably
okay.
October.
All right. Okay, Fire Station Fairgrounds, I was gone last week, I don't know what else has been done on that. I think it's undergone legal review. The last that I saw was that they were making an offer, was it for 300 or 350,000, and they wanted the proceeds to go to the fairgrounds.
Yeah, so on August 27th, it was returned back to KCFR's legal from some changes that our legal made.
Okay,
So, yeah, if you just want to touch base with our legal, I didn't get the update from Barb yet, so, and I understand that I think she's out for a couple weeks, so,
would it be Ferguson? Is it Dave?
yeah,
Okay, I got it.
okay.
Okay then, U of I Extension, new home.
Yeah, so we're waiting for the lease to come to us, and legal's already reviewing the draft lease, so they'll kind of already be ahead of the game. And are you guys, did you find boxes? Are you doing good?
Office is falling into boxes as we speak.
Awesome.
Okay, and Charla, you asked about cabinets.
Yes, so I'd sent Commissioner Filios an inquiry. Looking around our office, there are some things that we will not be moving with us, some things that I don't anticipate would be useful or had been bought with grant funds from within our office, and I had inquired if those were items that we could sell, Craigslist, Marketplace, whatever, and turn those funds around to purchase new items for our new space, because storage will be a bit of a struggle, so we were looking at, could we get some pantry-style cabinets that we could turn into storage in the new space? So I had inquired to Filios. Greg stopped by yesterday, and we kind of walked through the office and identified some of those items: our refrigerator, our stove, the dishwasher, some of the cabinetry that we put into the kitchen using grant funds. If that
Okay,
would
so
be-
you want to be able to sell these items?
And turn it around to support the cost of the move on our side.
Sure.
New supplies.
Do you want to ask if Elections is interested in purchasing any of those items?
We could.
It might be faster for you.
Yeah.
Huh?
They might want them.
Yeah?
Yeah, so find that out, but otherwise,
So-
my
If that-
understanding per the MOU, anything you guys buy goes back to you,
Yeah.
so.
Sure.
Well, and some of this stuff has been in inventory for so long that, we've been moving that refrigerator around. So I know we had it at Harbor Center. I think we might have I think we dated it clear back to when we were at Dalton. So who owns it at this point is a little nebulous. So I just wanted to
Out
run
of
it.
its useful life.
Yeah, I just
Okay.
wanted to run it by you guys to make sure that there would be no conflict if we went ahead and sold some of those items.
If they're yours, they're yours. To take or dispose of.
Okay. I will
Okay.
move forward as such then.
Okay.
So would it be Shelley that I would contact? I mean, we have not had much for communication across the wall to know what's going on or what they're anticipating.
Yeah,
or envisioning.
contact Shelley, and when we get through here, I'll do the same.
Okay,
I'll let her know to be on the lookout to hear from you. Okay, cool.
Yeah, the lease is with legal right now. I did a little bit of tweaking. The MOU, I sent the draft to Dave. I don't know if you want me to go through this now in the meeting. I don't,
Probably not, I found some changes that needed to.
yeah, I found some too, so maybe you and I can get together
Yeah.
maybe tomorrow and, because I found some stuff that I missed when I went through it last night, so.
So for everyone's benefit, now the facility is at Riverbend, is that correct?
Yes, will be at Riverbend,
Will be at Riverbend, okay.
U of I Research Park.
Okay, thank you. All right, moving on, facilities, second page, facilities expansion, all three of us. Leslie, do you have anything?
No, opening bids next week for the RFQ for architect.
Oh, cool.
We have quite a bit of interest, and I got a phone call today from a gentleman in Denver, Colorado, who does this quite frequently, but he just found out about it yesterday, so I don't know that he's gonna be able to get his packet together, but, yeah, so we're generating some interest. I think.
Have
we're
we
gonna see a
received
few-
any yet? Probably too soon.
No, you won't see him until.
How many
like
do you
last
expect?
minute.
You want to hazard a guess?
I'm gonna guess right now on my list that I have somewhere, 6 to 8
Wow.
packets
Okay.
possibly, or
Okay.
better.
So again, for everyone's benefit, this is for a building that would be erected right here on our downtown campus. Okay. All right, Pack Airport lease.
All right, so this is contingent on kind of what's happening with the Armory and OEM, but I'm gonna meet with PAC and discuss options, because I don't think that this splitting PAC out or search and rescue and parks and waterways is going to be as simple as splitting the Armory out. So we're gonna have to talk about some short-term and long-term arrangements for them, so.
Okay.
Speaking to them tomorrow.
Okay. All right. And OEM relocation, this is the Office of Emergency Management going to the Armory. Is there anything there?
We're gonna meet with community development tomorrow at 9, Corey Trapp and I. And we're doing the walkthrough at 3 o'clock today with the contractors. So we're moving along as quickly as we can. Bids are due the 29th.
Okay, and asbestos test came back negative.
Yes, which is good because now we have proof of it. So that means we can start work with
Cool.
that, with knowing that we have
Now,
the
the
proof.
bids are for the interior renovation?
Yeah, there's some outside stuff too. There's some, but, yeah, basically it's just, it's a remodel is basically what it is.
And it's tomorrow? That they're due?
The meeting. No,
No,
next week.
the
Oh, you're
walk-
meeting next week. I'm sorry. The bids are due next week.
Yeah, the bids are
Okay.
due next week. We're meeting tomorrow with David and
8/29.
one of his senior inspectors, and the contractors are getting their walkthrough today so they can get their bids prepared. I asked to put this on here because it's such a tight window that if something goes wrong, I'm gonna have to bring it to your attention so that you understand what it is, because it might be on the business meeting the next day. It's gonna be that fast.
Okay.
So I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh, we added 5 ceiling tiles yesterday.
Right.
But I do want to be able to have that option to say, look, on the business meeting tomorrow, this is a hot one. And
Okay, so the remodel, which is basically going to be funded by COVID money as a result of the CARES Act, right?
Correct.
That, I presume, carries a deadline, so the remodel would have to be done by?
The remodel has to be done, the punch list and retainage paid by 12/31/2020, unless they extend the funding.
Unless they extend the funding, okay. Thank you.
Okay. Stephen, I'll ask you to kind of chime in here about splitting the property, and I did briefly talk with David Callahan this morning. It sounds like, excuse me, that it's better to just get the Armory piece out of the way and then deal with the remaining 15 acres
Later.
later.
Yep, that was our conversation with the city of Hayden, that it's gonna be too challenging if we try to split everything out, and because of how the rules are, that everybody's in agreement that the Armory building can be split pretty simply.
Okay.
The remaining 12 and a half acres is gonna be longer.
Okay, so then the Armory piece, I understand that we are going to have to hook up to sewer, and is that gonna be Hayden sewer or airport sewer?
That is a very good question. We can easily hook up to our sewer today. The The problem is nobody knows when Ramsey Road Sewer's extension's gonna happen.
2 years, probably or more. So, Stephen, can you get just a rough estimate about how much that would cost to hook up to airport sewer? Because I understand you have pipes and stuff already?
I can't tell you exactly specifically how much it is, but if we connect to our system, we can easily pick up where, Jody has talked about building a facility, the airport shops, as they exist today, through a small lift station that is very similar to what Parks and Waterway and Sheriff's, Search and Rescue use.
Okay,
And tie into our facility. Cost-wise, I know Sean last week or 2 weeks ago, whenever it was saying, Sean, it was about 150,000 is what you figured. So
Yeah, somewhere.
it just depends on the direction. It's much simpler if we wait until Ramsey Road goes in, but that property isn't in, we'd have to do an agreement to have it serviced by them.
okay,
Is it possible to wait?
yeah,
Ramsey?
yeah.
I would
it is.
wait on Ramsey, to be
Yeah.
honest with you, because it'll be a shorter distance for sure
Okay.
than what Stephen's gonna have to, that's a lot. And even if they do it, it still has to be signed off by, by Panhandle Health, and it has to be, there's a lot of specs to lay in sewer pipe. I would just say, if you don't have to do it right now, wait until Ramsey. Yes,
Okay.
definitely.
So potentially could cost less than if we waited for the city. Right,
Yes,
perfect,
exactly.
okay. Okay, thank you, Stephen, I appreciate that, and, if we need you on this anymore, then I'll try to give you more notice. But at this point, like Sean said, we're gonna address it every single week, just because the, construction timeline is so, tight, but I think we have the property, taken care of, and if you and I can talk about getting that resolution, done, so we can maybe sign it next week, that might be ambitious, but I wanna try to get that purchase resolution done soon.
Yep, I understand.
Okay. Stephen, don't leave.
Okay.
Okay. So that's it for the status update pending items. So I see we have an executive session called for, which I presume we still need. David, are you free? Why don't you hang out?
Might not be a bad
Hang out,
idea.
and then if you think you need to leave, it's entirely up to you, but I think there's an element here.
Yeah, I think
Okay, Nancy, you might want to stay too. We might need some analysis. Thank you, ladies. Charla, I will call Shelley as soon as we're done here.
I move we enter into executive session pursuant to Idaho Code 74-2061C.
I second the motion. Aye.
Aye.
I, entering into executive session, we do not have an attorney present. I think we're okay.
Stephen, I'm gonna actually call you back, so
Okay. So the time is now 10:58. We're about to exit executive session. Is there a motion?
I move we exit executive session with staff to proceed as discussed.
I second the motion. Aye.
Aye. Public comment? Hearing none. 10:58, meeting adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you